Good morning, everybody. I hope you had some rest and we'll go back to our business and continue from the place we stopped. If I am correct, the next proposal to be discussed is 204. Proposal of the three technical committees about team results. Please, Sean.
Good morning, everyone. Sean Redstead, ISAN's Technical Committee. On behalf of all three technical committees, synchronized skating, singles and pairs, and ISANs, we're proposing this concept as a team result for international competitions as a real great encouragement tool for countries, not only for participation, but also for development, especially for those disciplines where a country may be a little less in maybe pairs or dance, and in some countries even men. So this is a great tool. There's no financial cost at this point. It's just a calculation process for now, but a really good, wonderful tool, and opportunity to develop disciplines in all countries.
Any remarks? Questions? Okay. Who is in favor? Who is against? One. Who abstained? Nobody. The proposal is accepted. Next proposal, 205, from Austria, about world ranking systems.
May I talk?
Yeah, you can speak.
Christiane Mörth from Austria. We think that all skaters from a category should be treated equally. That means that we need also world ranking lists for juniors, because juniors can get points only in senior competition or junior Grand Prix. And like the senior skaters, they can gain the points also in normal international competitions. So we think this should be also valid for the junior skaters. And junior skaters between 15 and 19 can gain points in senior, but these between 13 and 15, which are not allowed to skate in seniors, have no chance to get any points. So we would like to ask if we could establish also a junior world ranking list. That would be important in many aspects. Thank you.
Christian, I have a question. The principles of this separate junior lists, we take only competitions that we were taking up to now, or we create a completely new part for juniors?
I don't understand what you mean.
You want to take the juniors separately and use only the competitions that were used before, or some other lower competitions? I don't understand exactly how the junior world standing will be created.
Like the senior ones. So in senior you can gain points in international competitions and up and higher. And for juniors, the international competitions are not a possibility.
I would like to have the opinion of somebody who took part in creation of these lists. Maybe Peter can a little bit clarify.
Well, Peter Quick, honorary member. It's difficult at the moment to understand because the junior events are split over the world and organized by separate members. They need to fulfill special criteria if they are included in a separate list for a ranking, as we had done it in the senior competitions. And this needs to work out if the list should be separate. And then we need to clarify if also senior competitions will count for points for the junior list. So it's a variety of questions which are not yet clarified and settled.
That's actually what I meant by my question. It's not just separating the current list into two lists. It's some new criteria that might be developed. It's a sort of task that then is given to the ISU, and the principles of this junior ranking will have to be worked out. So if we accept this proposal, we in a way give the mandate to the ISU to work out all these principles and publish them in a communication.
Yes, please.
Please.
Maurizio Margaglio, ISDEN's Technical Committee, but on behalf also of the single MPers, we are already talking about that, and we create a group of work in our committees. We are positive to this proposal. We would like to support that we divide a senior ranking from a junior ranking, and the major reason that we support that is because the juniors have access to Junior Grand Prix. A lot of senior couples don't have this possibility. They have only international competitions. So the ranking in some case is not a reality of the situation in the world. So we prefer to divide, and we're studying how to give the points to both rankings. Thank you.
Yes, Leona.
Leanna Caron, Canada. For the exact reasons that Maurizio mentioned, we also are supportive. However, I would ask the working group if they could also consider what happens to the transition of skaters from junior to senior in terms of where they slot in to the groups. That's a big concern of ours, is how that will work.
John is strong.
John Coughlin, Singles and Pairs Technical Committee. I think it's, there was a conversation within the technical committees about what exactly the percentage of points should be that transfer over. I think there's absolutely value in a junior skater that has performed well on an international stage, but having said that, I don't know that a junior skater should be skating last in the short program at their first international competition. So we'll study this and come up with a percentage so that they're appropriately rewarded as they transition, but also have to prove themselves at the senior ranks.
So maybe it makes sense to have a resolution giving the task to the technical committees to create the principles of these two separate lists, maybe not only the principles of junior, but look also how the senior world standing is made, and then we will publish this in a communication. That's possible. Or decide the issue at the next Congress. That's what you wish. Then we'll publish it in a communication. But there are many hidden things. It's not so easy, and will take some time. Yeah.
I would like to continue what Leanna Caron just said, that when assigning skaters to Grand Prix senior events, and when they move from junior ranks, they come up there with their world standings which they achieved as juniors. Sometimes they're even much more higher than those who did just senior events. So if we separate the lists, we need to know how to combine these lists. even for this purpose. There are, as I said, there are many different hidden, as Alexander Lakernik said, hidden things which should be worked out and foreseen for the future.
Correct. That's why I don't think we can now accept it the way it's written, because this is a big issue. The current world standing is not the best, the system, but it's not so easy to make a better one. Yeah.
Artyom Knyazev, Uzbekistan. Actually, it's not a two list, it's a free list. Some skaters skating in senior and in junior too, together. So it's free list, it's not a two.
I don't
Alexander.
know.
Alexander.
Oh, first Charlie, then.
Charlie Sear, Sports Director, Figure. As John and Maurizio have explained, we have discussed this pretty extensively in the committees, and the devil is in the details. What we would like to do is acknowledge both the junior skaters and the senior skaters and acknowledge what they have accomplished and rewarding the junior skaters as they progress into seniors, but also be respectful of the junior skaters that don't have that same opportunity to do that. So there is only going to be two lists and not three. But as I said, the devil's in the details. We have discussed this. I think this is a worthwhile proposal to move forward. I don't think it needs to be tabled, but I do think that it needs to be discussed a little further, mandated by the council, and then, as Alexander stated, to be put in a communication, and then for proper presentation at a later time. So I don't think we need three. We do need two. It does need to be researched, but we will have a very viable recommendation for the council and for the Congress. Thanks.
Thank you.
Kristen, would you agree to transform this proposal into a resolution giving task to the technical committees to work on the issue, present it to the council, and then the council will take a decision, so we do not need to wait till the next Congress?
I trust fully the committees and the council to do a proper proposal. So I would propose to write in the rule effective from the next season.
You've heard the discussion. I am not sure we can start with the next season, because then we'll be in a haste, and I don't think we'll produce very good results.
Sorry,
it can start.
Next season is 1920.
1920 works.
Yeah.
But not 1819.
No.
1920, I would agree. No, not in a proposal. It's a resolution giving the task to the technical committees to develop a new system, present it to the council with the goal of that it starts working since season 1920.
That's fine for us. Thank you.
Yes, Paolo.
Paolo Pizzocari from Italy. Just a question in this project that it's very interesting. So I also agree with Christian that junior are a little bit suffering for ranking. So why not to consider the junior international competitions for ranking and having only one list that, in my opinion, could be simpler, but splitting the list when there is a lot of some junior skaters are competing in senior and could be difficult.
When there is one list, it's not very fair. Some skaters compete in seniors and juniors and get plenty of points. Others can only skate either seniors or juniors. And it's really when they are mixed together, some get unfair advantage and some get unfair disadvantage. So I would welcome the idea of Christian, but it requires a lot of work. Yes, Charlie.
Just one more point of clarification is that the number of competitions and the type of competitions and where they're being held are also being discussed within the committees, just for consistency with both those. Okay.
So, Beatrice, correct me if I am wrong. The Austria can withdraw the proposal as it is, and we accept here the resolution based on this proposal to give the task to the technical committees to come with a proposal to the Council with the goal that it starts working in the season 1920.
Yes, you're correct, but Austria would have to explain explicitly whether they do withdraw or not.
Correct.
The famous words, we withdraw.
Okay. A second task to
And now you have to vote on the
TC.
resolution.
Wait a minute. Have to see. Go. Proposal is withdrawn, and we have a vote for the resolution. We'll word it, and we can give you an exact text maybe tomorrow, because it needs some writing. But it will be written that the technical committees are given the task to create 2 separate rankings and present it to the Council for confirmation, with the goal that the system starts working in the season 1920. Who is in favor? Who is against? Abstained? Unanimously. Okay. Next proposal, 206 from Bosnia and Herzegovina about the protocol.
Good morning, Mr. Vice President, delegates, friends. We are just proposing slightly changes. In Dubrovnik was changed from 2 months to 1 week, which is okay if it was necessary as drafting, we assume, because it was not in agenda. But now we are proposing to stay like it is, of course, for ISU events. It goes directly and everyone is expecting to see protocols immediately, so one must be 1 week for all ISU events, but for international, give us this little space to be not later than 2 weeks. So we need this just to make sure. We are all volunteers. Sometimes we start competition because of the rule 21 days to give them chance to have points. So we start, for example, Wednesday and Thursday we finished with seniors. So this is already for ISU main competition finished. And then we continue till Sunday maybe with the small ones. And for volunteers, that means all night, all day working. We have in our country 1 and 1 great from neighbor country who are helping us. If anything helps to them, then we are in troubles because of wording must. So this is the reason.
Yes, please, Fabio.
The technical committee support the proposal because we thought that the reasons are correct.
Thank you.
Any other opinions? Okay. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted.
Thank you.
One abstained, correct. Now we have urgent proposal 12 coming from the ISU Council about novelty formats in international competitions to fulfill the Council's commitment to the European Commission to amend the rule in this manner. It's continuation of the many rules about commitments to European Commission decisions. Okay, let's vote. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Unanimously accepted. Proposal 207 from Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is movement of the rule, and I think the whole rule consists of a couple of lines, and the proposal is to keep this rule but move it to a different place and not have it as a separate rule, correct?
Correct, because it's very important. Say no official participating in one international figure skating event in any capacity make any negative comment to the public concerning such event. So in our opinion, it's better now is isolated somehow. It's not in attention so much to move it to duties of official, because it's important to keep in mind that you cannot just criticize. If you have anything, you can say to referee. This reason.
Yeah. We support the proposal as well.
Thank you.
Yes, it's okay, who is in favor of the proposal? Okay. Against? Abstained? Unanimously accepted.
Thank you.
Proposal 208 from the ISU Council. I will explain a little bit myself. Last Congress, there was a task to prepare a better system of entries to the ISU championships, and trying to fulfill, partly at least, this task, the Council has prepared a proposal with the basic idea of a fixed number of entries for the World Championship, which is much better for the ISU and for the organizers, because they know from the beginning how many skaters will take part. And now, with the current system, it's takes, you know it at the very last moment. And the groups change, everything change. But considering the resolution that we accepted yesterday to form a working group that will look at the whole system of how we conduct our championships, and the group will report it to the next Congress. We discussed with my colleagues from the Council, and we proposed to withdraw this proposal, because accepting something now and changing in 2 years doesn't make much sense. It's not a bad proposal, but I don't think it's the time to accept it now when we have given a task to work at it to a big group. Any other opinions? Do you accept that we withdraw this proposal? Please vote. No, they don't have to accept it. So, well, it's very good that I have the legal advisor. And so the proposal is withdrawn.
Excuse me, Mr. Vice President.
Yep.
I just wanted to say that this is a very good proposal that the Council put forward, and we certainly applaud it. I realise, of course, we have no choice if you choose to withdraw it, because you are the Council. However, it may be a very interesting topic to see the feeling of the room of how they actually felt about the proposal.
well, if we want a little bit some exchange of information, it's possible for the working group to consider in their studies. Then I'll have to continue a little bit. The proposal goes as follows, and it's currently only for the World Championship, that we have a fixed number of entries, which is 42 in singles, 28 in pairs, and 35 in dance. We have, as now, the minimum score, but if some skaters do not fulfill the minimum score, and the numbers are less than I said, then we'll accept the next skaters who don't have the minimum score, but in a ranking that takes together short and free, because there are two programs, and the combined result of short and free, and we add to the number. We didn't touch in this proposal the final free skating. We didn't increase the numbers, as was discussed last Congress, because it's possible to increase the numbers in free skating. We've done the calculations, and thanks to Mario Mainel, who did the calculations for this proposal and for the free skating part, it fits into the same number of days, but the competition becomes very long, and there's absolutely no flexibility in the schedule, because everything is very tight. Now you can ask me what happens if the number of skaters exceeds the quota. The ones who fulfilled the minimum score is more than, say, 42. According to this rule, we'll have to accept them, and then there will be more than 42. To avoid this, we would have to raise maybe a little bit the minimum score so that there are no more than this number who is entered. The cases when it's more will be very rare, and then we'll have to have more. But that was the idea. There are definite pluses in the fixed number of entries, because you can make the schedule properly. And now it's much more difficult to make it. But as I said, we are withdrawing the proposal not because we think it's a bad one. We are sure it's a good one. But forming a commission, a group, giving them the task to look at the whole system of entries of all championships, we don't think it's the best thing to change now, because even if we change now, it cannot start working immediately. In the proposal, it is starting with the season 2020-2021, because the organizers must be ready for this. So we just want to delay and discuss everything together after we get the proposals of the group. Peter, are you satisfied? Can somebody speak? If somebody wants to comment, it's not, the decision is taken, the proposal is withdrawn. Just Peter wanted maybe some comments. No, well, I've commented. Nobody else wants. Let's move on. Okay. Proposal 209 from Bosnia, quite a long one, about the new composition of the panel of judges. And there's also a proposed resolution on this proposal, also from Bosnia. So first, Lubavka will try to explain how it all works. Jaron, we start with Bosnia and not with Netherlands.
But I would like to be the next.
Yeah.
Okay, but first will be Obavka. Okay.
First, to ask you for the motion, and especially our legal advisor, if you agree, if it's not totally wrong, and then we continue. I can say why. It looks complicated, but how it says very famous. Once I will find the right words, and they will be simple. And simple is to open the door for qualified judges from small members, not having skaters. And once that there are 13 judges at championships already in the room, we think 12 could be good number that they're judging on the ice, especially in future if we split panels or something, or from now. And second is that we proposed 8 of judges when they are drawn in October, to be drawn instead of 9, how is now, and to be drawn from the members with skaters, and other to be drawn from small members without skaters. In that way, we give also chance for personal improvement, for better feeling, for all what is in code of ethics, for officials that are not having skaters, and not to be 100% always depend on the skaters. And the main is to open the door, and in any number. So this is the motion. And now I'm expecting from you any comments.
Obavka, before next person speaks. So the proposal is proposal like it is in the book, 209,
yes,
or this resolution, because proposal, if it's accepted, goes to the rules. Resolution says report to the next Congress and come to the next Congress with a proposal. And this is quite different. So first question to you, are you proposing the proposal to be in the rules right after the Congress, or you propose a resolution?
Resolution.
So Bosnia is changing the proposal 209 to the resolution that should be shown now on the screens. Is it possible?
I would like to clarify something. The resolution is not being drafted by Bosnia, but is drafting by the Netherlands.
Sorry, here is the paper that says resolution
Yes,
on proposal 209 by Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Correct. We worked together. I didn't have possibility. I'm blocked totally because of these EU rules, Commission for this protection of personal data. My email, my phone, this everything out of memory. I don't know what to do because we are blocked with 10 years of companies, letters to agree that for my personal data, agree, so I couldn't do anything. And it's helping me, and we discuss. If this is not legal, okay, but it is with acceptance, how to tell you.
Wait a minute. Then, if this proposal, resolution, is not Bosnia, but Netherlands, then first we must discuss the proposal 209. If you withdraw it, then we can discuss the resolution.
Yes, in favor of resolution, yes.
Okay. So proposal as it is withdrawn. Okay. Now we go to resolution, which should be read the title. Can you show on the screen?
Can I just clarify something again?
I want, Jaron, I want the text on the screen. Okay.
I would like to clarify something and speak about this proposal for 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
But first, to speak, we need text.
We don't need the text because I don't want to move the resolution.
Okay.
But because the resolution came from the Netherlands and not from Bosnia, maybe you were confused because I wrote on the paper by Bosnia-Herzegovina, but the proposal is by Bosnia-Herzegovina. Okay, first I would like to show my sympathy about the principles, about some of the principles of the proposal by Bosnia-Herzegovina. I know that my dear friend Sergei Sviridov, if I speak about officials, will get red spots in his face if I don't also discuss skaters, but just please allow me to do so for a few minutes. The current situation is that as a judge from a small member, and even if you're a developing member, you need to hope and pray that your skater achieves the minimum score in order for you to qualify, maybe a judge, to get into the draw. And as Bosnia put in her proposal, that is in some way, well, don't like the word, but it's in some way discriminating against officials that are qualified, so we are somehow violating the rules of inclusiveness. So that's one thing. On the other side of the scale, by the luck of the draw or by the bad luck of the draw, sometimes very qualified officials by experienced members are just not drawn. So on the opposite spectrum, we also lose some kind of quality in our panels. So you know that I'm a perfectionist, so with that situation, now I am the one to get red spots in my face. So I had in mind to move this resolution, and you can put it on the screen just for information. I'm not sure what to do actually, if we should discuss it or not, because it would create another working group, and this is working group after working group after working group, and I'm not sure if this is the most effective way to discuss things.
Wait a second. First, I want the proposal, if it's possible, on the screen. This resolution. Because
proposal is withdrawn. Resolution.
No, not the proposal. The
Resolution.
resolution.
Yes.
You can put it on the screen.
Then I want to understand. Obavka is ready to change the proposal and instead of it accept this resolution. I didn't understand the conclusion of, can it be made bigger? Because now I don't see a word. Now it disappeared. Okay. No, even bigger, if possible.
So the resolution that we were writing yesterday was to establish a working group of, well, that's a suggestion, 3 to 5 members, and as a suggestion, the sport director, a representative of the TCs, and representative of the council with a task to deliver to the Congress, next Congress, proposal to modify the judges' draw for the championships and the Olympic Winter Games, following principles of inclusiveness and good governance, to ensure, first of all, that we have as many members of the whole ISU family included in the panels, if they're qualified, of course, that there will be somehow an optimal mix between members with and without competitors, but also that the highest level of experience is represented in the panels. And this is something that we need to think of and something that needs to elaborate in much further detail. And we could be open to any kind of option on that. So I would like some opinions, and we actually can discuss this resolution.
So, Jaron, are you in favor of this resolution or not? I still could not understand.
Now it's on the board. Let's discuss it, and I'll move this resolution.
Not easy to understand, okay. Because Jaron doesn't give a clear opinion of his own on that resolution.
Leanna Caron, Canada. If such a working group is established, what causes me to pause in this definition is experience when everyone is a qualified ISU official. So I have no idea how that could be measured.
Yep.
John Coughlin, Athletes Commission. Of course, I'm all for the judges panel being comprised of the most experienced officials possible. In the initial proposal, it says that judges are not responsible for skater development, but conversely, I don't think skaters are responsible for judges' development, and I don't think of ISU championships as judges' development opportunities. So I encourage the Congress to make sure that the most qualified judges with the most experience that are seeing the high-level competition on a regular basis have our future in their hands when they're sitting on the panel. Thank you.
Please.
Jeanette King, New Zealand figure. Just a plea from those in the sort of four continents area is, yes, it's all very well to say that judges from as many members as possible be included on the panels, but there are very few opportunities for some of our four continents and very experienced four continents officials to be able to officiate at this level, and we would still like to be able to provide some opportunity for them to have first priority if this working group is to go ahead.
Well, before we continue, there are not many opportunities for everybody to be drawn because we have so many countries and so many judges that to get to the panel in any ISU championships is difficult for everybody. The discussion is if the current system works or should be replaced by some other one. And another principle that currently the rules are made that they a little bit push the members to develop skaters if they want to have judges. This proposal in the second line suggests that there will be some, not many, but some judges without skaters at all. And it's for the Congress to decide which direction we go. Thank you.
I just want to make extra remarks on this, that if you accept some members that has no judges, that has no skaters in the panel, clearly some member with the skaters will be out. So the fact is that the principle is that if we go in the direction, and there is some reasons to accept also members without the skaters, but some members with the skaters will not be drawn, so the spots will be less. So it's very democratic to say that everybody has to have the chance to be there, but we have to consider that we would like to award a little bit more possibility to the members that are producing skaters and are making a big effort, instead of members that has no skaters at all and they have only some qualified judges.
Yep.
Maria, Iceland figure. I would just like to know how judges can become experienced if they don't have any skaters. So how would a judge be able to gain the most experience to get to the top level competitions? From what competitions would they gain the experience? That's my question. Thank you.
Well, if it is a question to me, to have more experienced judges, you must have more competitions in the country, out of the country, everywhere. And to have more competitions in the country, you must develop skating. There's no other way. Anybody else? Okay. So now we'll put on vote the resolution the way it's presented on the screen. And it's a simple majority, 50%, more than 50%. And the text is exactly as it's on the screen, correct? First, let's try without electronic vote and see what we get. Who is in favor of accepting the resolution as presented on the screen? Who is against? Not clear. Electronic vote. So we'll have yes, one, and yes if it is accepted, and no if it is rejected. Do we need to count the people, how many or not? No, it doesn't matter. The vote is open, please. Yes if you are in favor of the resolution, and no if you are against it. 1 is yes, 2 is no, 3 is abstained. Enough? Okay, the vote is closed. Can you rejected 34, accepted 23, abstained 8. The proposal is rejected. Can we show the countries? That is yes. Next, no. And next, abstained. Thank you. Okay. Next proposal is 210 from the 3 technical committees about presentation of medals.
Sean Redstad, ISTAN's Technical Committee. In continuation of what we passed yesterday with Rule 134, Paragraph 3F, this is just exchanging the word platform with podium. And in addition with what we passed already yesterday, 134, Paragraph 3A, in drafting, we will also now switch that the order of presentation to be third, second, and first, in line with that rule already.
Anybody? Okay, who is in favor? Who is against? Abstained? Unanimously. Yes, accepted. Now, proposal 211 from the 2 technical committees, and I don't know who will speak. Okay, Fabio.
Okay, it's a little bit complicated to explain this. I hope to be clear enough to make everybody understand what it is, the proposal. So this proposal is related to the multiple entry for the Olympic Winter Game. The present rule gives the possibility of multiple entry, that can be 2 or 3, depending on the best skater or the best 2 skaters, not considering at all the quality of the other skaters of this member. With this proposal, we want to link the possibility to multiple entry not only to the results of the best skater, but also to the quality of all the skaters that could be entered. When a member has got the right to have more than 1 entry, the request is that the second or the third skaters is at least qualified for the final free skating and the previous World Championship. If not, for any reason, the member, the first not qualifying members will get this spot. This opens the possibility to have more members directly entered and qualified, with also the possibility to have a judge's drawn. Because if you know, the judge's drawn is depending of mainly of who is got the qualification at the World Championship before and not for the qualifying event. In any case, to give the second possibility to the member that have got the right for a second or third entry, but without having qualified these skaters, we will allow one skater of this member to compete in the qualifying events, and in the case the skaters got the qualification, the member will have back the spot that has lost in a way in the previous World Championship. So I understand that it is quite difficult to understand how it works, but mainly we wanted to prevent the situation that can happen that one member has only one very good or excellent skaters and practically no other skaters in the country. If these skaters at the previous World Championship become in the first fifth place, for example, got 2 spots, but the second skaters is much worse in the country, is much worse than some other skaters of other members. But because the priority at the moment it is that who has the multiple entry as the priority to the members that has only one entry, this we thought was not correct. So practically we are saying that if you, with this proposal, if you got 2 or 3 spots, you have at least to have 3 skaters or 2 skaters that has a certain level and not the possibility to enter somebody that is really, really worse than others. And if you have not, another member can enter it and have more possibility. So we open the possibility for, I don't want to say small members, but members that has skaters that are not in the first places to be entered at the Olympic Games. I'm ready for any questions because I don't know if it is clear for everybody what the rules is saying.
I have one question.
Yeah.
If a member had 2 skaters at the Worlds,
yes,
and because of the high points got the right for 3 at Olympics,
yes,
the third will have to go to qualifying, correct?
Yes, because in this case the third skater is not in the first in the final free skating. So this member will got the 2 spots for the other 2, and the third spot, because it has not demonstrate that this skater is good enough, goes to the Olympic qualifying event and can win the spot. But this third spot is not giving automatically at the World Championship before. So the first not qualified skaters will be entered directly at the qualified after the World Championship. And this is also really important for the draw of the judges, because in this case, this member will participate to the draw of the judges of the Olympics.
Okay. Any questions, remarks? Because this is a completely new procedure. Is it clear how Fabio explained it, or not very? Okay. Nobody wants to speak? Okay. No?
Alexander, to me it's not clear. I think it's not clear for many.
Okay. Well, I'll try to explain how I understood the proposal. Fabio will confirm if my understanding is correct. After the Worlds, the skaters get points according to their places, and according to these points, we determine how many skaters an ISU member will have in Olympics. For example, if there was only one skater and this skater was first or second, then immediately the member gets 3 places, 3 spots. Up to now, this was automatic. The proposal is saying that you get these spots, but only if at the previous Worlds this second or third skater was in the final free skating, not personally, not by name, but by number. If you had only 1 skater in the final free skating, automatically you get only 1 skater at Olympics. What happens with the other skater? Or it can be even 2. These skaters can go to qualifying competition and confirm that they are good enough to be at Olympics. But if I remember correctly, only 1 skater can go to qualifying competition and not 2. So I don't know if my explanation made it more clear. Does anybody want to speak? Or I'll put it on vote.
Yes, Mr. Vice President, I'd like to speak.
Yeah, okay.
So just to articulate this clearly for, we'll say, a weaker member that perhaps doesn't have a lot of depth in their field, but they are fortunate enough to have a skater that would place in the top 10 at the previous World Championships, they would get 2 skaters. So their next skater down the line is perhaps not so good, but still, of course, has a qualifying score. So under this proposal, that country would lose one of its qualifying spots, and that spot would in fact go to another member. That's my understanding.
Correct. If this second skater, the first skater was, let's say, 8, that's 8 points. To have the right for 2 skaters, you need not more than 28, I think. Then the second skater practically can be anywhere, and with 2 skaters you get 2 spots at Olympics. Now you automatically get only 1. The second one, if he was not good enough the previous year, can go to qualifying. Next, Katarina.
Katarina Henriksson, Sweden, figure. So I have a question. Usually it's about 18 members that qualify at Worlds for the Olympics, and it concludes to 24 skaters, but it might be 2 or 3 from different countries. And then at the qualifying event in the fall, there are 6 spots for the rest up till 30 skaters. But this will make it differently, because now it will not only be around 18 at the World Championship that qualifies, because you can never count 2 or 3 skaters. Do you understand my question? I think it's complicated.
No, not really.
No, but I mean, today you have, like, if you finish 18
we have,
at the Worlds, you are
yes, I
usually
think it's 24,
within.
the number, because it's 24 and
Yes, it's
for
20.
singles. We are talking about singles, for example. It's 24 for
Yes.
you get directly qualified at the World Championship, and 6 spots are there. But among these 24 spots, the members that has got the right to have multiple entry has the priority to all the members that has 1 spot. Because when you got 3 spots, you have got the first 3 spots. Then who has 2 spots got the other spots. And then we go in the order of the results to get the other spots. So there will be members that even if they have a skater qualified at the final free skating at the World Championship, they are not qualified. So maybe who arrived 21, 22 is not qualified, because the members with the multiple entry will take the spots before. What we are saying is that if you get these spots before and you have skaters that are in the final, it is correct to have this. But if you got these spots just because you have one good skaters and nothing else after, it is not correct that the 21 skaters or members or the 22 is out in favor of a skaters that has the, of the member that have got the right to have this second spot. So the fact is that we are trying in a way to protect the members that are on the borderline because they have more chance. So the members that arrive 21, 22, 20 have practically more chance to be in, and the members that have one good skaters and nothing else, because if the member has good skaters, they got the spots in any case. But if a member, for example, we can take Italy. Italy in ladies has Carolina and nobody else. Carolina arrived 5th, got 2 spots. Maybe our second lady is very, very weak, and maybe the Swedish girl can get these spots before Italy gets the right to have the second entry. So this is, and this especially, I have to tell you, in pairs, create a really inconvenient situation. Because in pair, it's very easy that a member can got 2 spots because it's quite easy, but they do not have really a second skaters, second pairs. And at this Olympics, in pairs, there was no one members entered with only 1 spot, because the first 16 places were already taken by the members with multiple entry. So we thought to be a little bit more democratic, to have the possibility to have a couple of member more in each categories.
Okay, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that it could be more than 6 skaters or pairs added at the qualifying.
No, because when you do not accept some skaters from members with multiple entries, these places are filled by the next members. And from qualifying, you still have the same number getting to Olympics. The difference will be that for these 6 spots, there will be also some members who already have 1 entry. Next is Liana.
I just want to offer my support for this approach. I think we stand to potentially lose as a big nation, but I think it will allow more countries to participate in World Championships, and it will probably match more closely where the skaters are ranked from a world ranking level as well, and allow for a broader participation.
Next.
Thank you. In principle, we agree with the idea that to give more possibility to many countries at the expense of the skaters whose level is not quite good. At the same time, the process itself maybe requires more clarification. Just the situation, a single skater, no matter male, female, participates at the World Championships. He is only one from this country, not because there are no others, but somebody was injured or couldn't compete or whatever. He became the world champion, which actually means 3 spots. Then, to get the second one, they will need to qualify with only 1, not with 3. So because they've got 1, so the maximum they can get with the qualification is 2, but not 3 as they would have earned based on the previous system. And another question, how injuries will be counted? If somebody didn't go through from the short program to the free because of the injury. So this, for the future World Championships, this brings your number down. How it will be for the Olympics. If it's not that the skaters didn't qualify for the free, not because of the best skating, but because of they are withdrawn because of the injury, for example.
Yeah.
Let me answer. Your first question, the only way to have 3 skaters at Olympics is to have 3 skaters at the previous Worlds who were in free skating. That's one possibility. And the other possibility is to have... No, that's the only way.
No.
How else?
No, you can have also 2 skaters at the World Championship before, both qualified for the final free skating. But if you have to have 3, must be for sure qualified, because the result is 12 points, so should be even very well qualified. And if you have not the third one for injuries or for any reason, you can send these third skaters to the Olympic qualifying events to get back this spot. But it's not automatically given to you. That's the things. But if you have, on the contrary, 3 skaters, all 3 qualified, that's you immediately have all 3 qualified.
Yeah, but then the question comes, if I had 3 entries, one of them got injured, didn't reach the free skating, so I got 2 spots. Can I still qualify for the third one, or only you can qualify with if you have 1 or 0?
No, the only real difference with respect to the actual rule is, but it's very, very rare case, if you have only 1 skater entered at the World Championship, and these skaters becomes first or second. So you have 3 spots and only 1 skater. In this case, you have to send another skaters in Oberstdorf, but you can get only 2 spots. So it's the only case in which you can have less than what it is the required rules. So only 1 skater entered becomes first or second, and that will give less possibility. But it's extremely rare, because if you have 1 skater that will be the World Championship or not the World Championship, and no other skaters entered in the World Championship, it will be something very unusual. Probably you will have a talent, and it's the only one that you have in the whole country. Will never happen to a country like Russia, for example, that has only 1 skater entered in the World Championship and becomes the World Championship. You will have for sure some other, and this other will be for sure qualified. So that's it's
okay.
What about the injuries? If somebody gets injured and didn't qualify for the free, so the country gets 2 spots, they do not have any right to go for the qualification. Or they do, or what? Because they already got 2 spots.
Yes, but okay, if you have 3 skaters and 2 injured and 1 win the World Championship, is a very unlucky situation. It's
Please, next, Boris.
Boris J. Israel. Few points. First of all, what we're saying here, that qualification system, or qualification points rather, are not enough. That means they are not sufficient. That's number 1. Number 2, we're playing here a Dostoevsky routine, left cheek, right cheek. If you would say that you have 30 singles came to the World Championship or at the Olympic Games, and 30 will go and skate because they paid for, everything is there. Then this would make a lot of sense. But to go again and play with 24, I don't think it's a good idea.
I've not understood exactly what you mean.
What you're saying is that if a country has 2 spots, but the second spot, I don't know in whose opinion, is not very good, but single or pair, doesn't matter, made the qualification points, which are in the book. How do we know how that couple or single is going to perform in the Olympics? We've seen a lot of examples when very good skaters came to the Olympics and they just didn't make it. How are we going to determine this?
No, the determination of the spots, because you have to understand one thing, so that it is the base things. The qualification of the Olympics at the present rules is the same criteria, absolutely the same criteria of the World Championship for the next season. So it is the multiple entry, it is absolutely the same criteria. There is no difference. So if you have 3 skaters at the World Championship, got it for the next season, you will get at the Olympics as well. But the big difference is that the Olympics, the maximum number is fixed. In the World Championship, is not fixed, the maximum number. So when you get multiple entry in the World Championship, you are not taking the spots of any other persons that qualified. But at the Olympic Games, your second or third spot will take out some members because the maximum number is 30 or is 25 or it is 20, depending on the categories, but somebody has to stay out. So the fact is that the multiple entry in the World Championship, in the ISU Championship, are not penalizing any other members if they got the qualification. But at the Olympics, yes, because there are a fixed number of entry. So the fact is that what we are thinking, it is not correct that if you have only one good skater and the second one is much worse than a skater for a country that has only, again, one skater, but it is much better, to award more spots for this member and to penalize the other members. And also to have the possibility to have more members entered in the Olympic Games, that it is anyway better than to have small number of members. So it is a certain kind of really democratical and idea and based on the quality of the skater that you have in the country, not just related to one champion that by chance a country can have. So
right.
That is.
But who determines this? Let's take a case, because we're talking virtual. Yeah. Let's take a case. Let's take Spain.
Okay.
Definitely the second and third were not Hernandez, right? We
Yes.
agree on that. I didn't see him being that bad.
But the problem,
how are we going to decide they come in or not?
Yeah, but the fact is that if Fernandez got 2 spots or 3 spots, maybe the second skater is okay, but maybe the third one, it is more logical to have a skater from Israel that it is better than the third one of Spain.
I'm with you.
Yes.
The question is, who is going to determine?
But it is determined by the words of the before and the qualifying events. So like it is today, it's just a little bit moving who has to be entered or not. But the number stay it is, because we cannot change the number, unfortunately. Sorry to say that.
If the previous Worlds, somebody made the 24 the finals,
it's fine.
And that person from Spain, let's say, didn't make the finals, so now the second person from Spain, the third person from Spain, has to go to Oberstdorf.
And they have to compete. And if they got the spot, means that they have a skater enough good. If they don't got the spot, it is more correct that others got the spot than just because...
So the criteria, just to make it... Yeah. So the criteria is 24 at the previous Worlds.
Yes, like it is today. Nothing changed this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Mona.
Mona Adolfsen, Norway. We would like to support this proposal because it will secure the skaters at the right level to compete in the Olympics. And I also would like to remind you that for competing in the Olympics, it's the qualifying score is from the Europeans, so it's a bit lower. But then we will have the right level of the skaters to compete, and it will also secure that the smaller countries with the upcoming...
To the qualification competition, it chooses 6 skaters. So for the smaller countries, this is their one opportunity in many occasions to have a skater qualify. So there will now be additional skaters going to the qualifying competition, which will in fact potentially lock out smaller countries even further. So although they may not have already had someone, they may not be in the race with 2 people or 1 person already qualified, they will actually get potentially locked out again by the bigger countries. So I'm really speaking against this because it actually hurts the smaller countries yet again and stacks the cards in further favour of the big countries. Thank you.
Well, actually, it goes a little bit, as Fabio said, in favour of small countries. According to the world's results, But at qualifying competition, it might go the opposite way. That is correct.
Sorry.
Because some skaters from so-called big members will also be trying to qualify. That is correct.
Sorry, it is totally wrong, the approach that you are thinking, because it's correct that in the qualifying event there could be other skaters. But you have to remember that if there is this case, some members got the qualification directly and don't go to this. So the fact is that if, for example, 2 members got directly the qualification, do not have to go to Oberstdorf about these small members that will go in the other case. And it is in Oberstdorf, maybe there will be some skaters of the third of second.
Sorry, Fabio. You said it's absolutely wrong.
No.
It's not. It's what you said is correct and what Peter said is correct, because so-called small members have more chances now of direct qualification, but there will be maybe fewer places left for them at qualifying if it is Oberstdorf.
Yeah, because they already got the spot.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Can I have one more clarifying question? With all my respect to Spain, and they mentioned Fernandez here, I just, not to offense, but this is the case. Supposedly, Fernandez became the world champion, and others didn't qualify. So Spain has the right to go to Oberstdorf to qualify for another spot. But the spot, is it personal or the country? Otherwise, if I was Spain, I would send Fernandez to Oberstdorf.
No.
Who will get the second spot for Spain?
Sergei, the skaters who qualified personally cannot go to the qualifying event. But in other cases, we take the country and not the name. But the ones who really got the spot, they cannot go to qualifying.
Yeah, it is covered by the rules. I have not talked because it is quite complicated. But the fact is that the country cannot send the best skater, as you said, Fernandez, to Oberstdorf, because otherwise it will be absolutely stupid rules. So, but the spot is for the member, it's not for the skaters, like it is today.
In the proposal, it's written, however, this cannot be a skater, then had qualified for the free skating, free dance at the previous Worlds. Anybody? Yes.
Igor Lukanin, Azerbaijan. Just a question. What happens if the country doesn't have a skater at Worlds? Can they send them to Oberstdorf?
Of course. Nothing is changed.
Thank you.
Liana?
Just to summarize, if I may, as I understand it, Worlds dictates, the finish at Worlds dictates the number of spots. Skaters have to get qualified. You have 2 and 3 positions that don't have the skaters who are qualified. You must send them to Oberstdorf, as an example.
But you can't go from 1 to 3.
Absolutely. And for me, to the point raised by Australia, yes, there could be slightly better skaters, but by virtue of the fact that they're not qualified, the level of the skating there is still pretty much the same, even if now there happens to be a skater from Canada there or from another country who've qualified more. But it's not raising or making their chances so much more different. It's just allowing more opportunities for them to get to the Olympic Winter Games.
Artyom Knyazev, Uzbekistan. Something from my real life. 2005 World Figure Skating Championships in Moscow. So the Poland, Mariusz Zudek, it just was one pair in Poland who can compete in next Olympic Games. So in this system, I am and my partner, we have to wait Oberstdorf, and we don't have any support from other governments. because they wait license. If we will got that license, it will be okay. We will have support. So, in new system, we already knew that we have license, and we already accepted for Olympic Games. And of course, from the March to the Olympic Games, our government support us. It's real life, and it's help for the small members, for sure.
Alper.
Alper Kar from the Athletes Commission. We, as an Athletes Commission, we would like to thank to both technical committees to make a huge favor for the development countries. And I am a skater who's coming from the development country and giving me opportunity, again, compete and maybe having a spot in the Winter Olympics. So we are in favor of this proposal, and we would like to thank you one more time to the technical committees.
Anybody else? Okay. We'll put the proposal on vote, and let's make electronic vote because it was a long discussion. Open the vote, please. The vote is opened. Enough? No? Okay. Okay, the vote is closed. Accepted. Next proposal 212 from Netherlands about split of the judges at Olympics. Jaron.
As the prior proposal was withdrawn, this proposal will also be withdrawn if you allow.
Thank you. Next proposal is 213 from the two technical committees about the draws.
This is just a clarification of the current text, so there is absolutely nothing new. It's just a rewording to be more clear.
Okay. Who is in favor? Who is against? Abstained? Nobody. Accepted. Now there are several proposals connected with the possibility of having official seminars online, so-called webinars. Shall we discuss it one by one or take them all together, because there are several, yes, with the same, the only change is addition to webinar. It's 216, then let's see what else.
No, it's 217, 220,
214,
222, and 224.
The next.
214, and to this relates 217.
Don't hurry. But 217 has nothing about the webinar. I know there is a webinar.
No, there is
yes.
a reappointment.
214, 217,
220,
220,
222,
222.
Ay.
Yeah.
That relates, ice dance. And 224.
So, am I correct?
Alexander?
Yep.
As well as those, it will also cover 299, 310.
Oh, don't hurry then.
299.
99.
310.
Don't hurry. 299. 310.
0.
0.
315.
And
319. And 322.
So am I correct that in all these proposals, the only change is the possible addition of webinar, that is a seminar online?
Yes, just
correct?
one remark.
Yeah.
That webinar is possible only for reappointment. For any official who will take an exam for international or ISU status, they must have a seminar, the regular seminar, face-to-face, let's say.
And that is the same for our committee as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Jaron?
Just a few words on the process of the last 2 years, if you allow me. What started off as a resolution from the Netherlands 2 years ago to analyze the possibilities of e-learning and worked on by the working group has now been fully embraced by ISU technical committees, ISU Council, and the Development Commission. So, from my side, I would like to thank everyone for this hard work. We are probably, hopefully, going to accept this proposal. So first of all, I want to express my thanks and gratitude to the members of the working group, and I think they should be mentioned and named. So that's Lisa from Norway, Sally Rehorek from Canada, Beth Crane from Canada, Sandra Williamson from New Zealand, Paolo Pizzoccari from Italy. Thanks very much for your support. Also, a big thanks to the Development Commission and a big thanks to the technical committees and the Council for effectively making this happen quickly. We are moving with this more quick than playing music electronically.
Thank you.
Alexander?
Yeah?
Can I add one more? 304 should be added to that list.
304. Let's find it. 304.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll find it. Okay, so what? Can we put on vote all these proposals together? Who is in favor? No, you want to speak?
Yes, I wanted Jimmy from Luxembourg, the one who speaks slowly. I wanted in proposal 314, I think, the wording is different. So I was wondering whether it was just a drafting issue or whether we shouldn't.
314?
I think it was 314, where it says online learning / webinar.
314 doesn't say that.
No. 314 is about
15, sorry.
15.
It's just a question of wording, I think, or maybe we should use the same.
It is the same thing.
It's the same text.
It is the same thing.
The text is always the same.
Yeah, so why don't we use the same?
It says about only for reappointment that we can accept not only seminars but webinars. Okay. Who is in favor? Yes.
Chris, you said 299.
What?
That's a new rule. It's okay. You said
299 is the equivalent of 204. We are voting on 204.
I don't understand now. The first proposal is 214. There's no 204. Well, you know,
strike 299.
Yeah, this attempt becomes rather complicated. Susan, we'll try to be quick, but there are too many speakers. We'll quickly go to
Susan
them
Lynch,
one by
Singles
one.
Pair Technical
Yes.
Committee. Maybe I suggest, Alexandra, we do the singles, pairs and dance ones as one group, and then we do the synchronised ones. Just it's a little further. in
I
the
will
book.
go one by one because it becomes too complicated. 214, who is in favor? Who is against? Abstained? Accepted. 215 from Finland about judging of advanced novice competitions, and there is an amendment to this proposal. If it can it be shown on the screen? This amendment, but can we show it? It's on the screen. Frankly, this amendment a bit frightens me because we are usually not separating the disciplines. So I would ask for an explanation why in this particular case we need to have a separate rule for only ice dance.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lena Laaksonen from Finland Figure, and we would like to make this amendment to our proposal 215 so that it would only apply to ice dance and not single and pair skating. So in international advanced novice competitions, it would be considered as an activity for reappointment only in ice dance, because in ice dance it's difficult to get activity because there are fewer competitions. But in single skating, there are a lot of competitions, junior and senior, where you can get the activity for officials.
Alexander? We
Yes.
support this proposal if it's not against the rules that we will have different requirement for ice dance.
It's not against the rules, it's just a bit strange. But it's not against the rules. Yes, Kika.
Single and pairs technical committee, COCAVE. We also agree with, the support for this amendment because we already have a lot of enough international competition in singles, junior, and seniors. Thank you.
Any other remarks on this? Okay. First we vote for amendment. And the amendment is to include in ice dance only. Who is in favor of the amendment? Who is against? A majority is in favor. Abstained? Okay, amendment is accepted. Now the whole rule, including the amendment. Who is in favor? Who is against? Abstained? Accepted. How many against have you seen? Four. But I think at 11. When is the break? 11 or 10:30? 10:30. The break till 11:15. Yep.
I would like to speak on this amendment because from the legal point of view this is absolutely nonsense.
And it's vague. It's vague.
It's vague, but
What
also
relates? What doesn't relate?
I will explain when.
Let's continue. It's time. Before we continue, Danny will make some announcements.
So this has nothing to do about the agenda. It's just about this afternoon and tonight. The bus after the tour will come back to the hotel. You will have an hour and a half or 2 hours to get changed for the dinner. Okay? And then the dinner, the dress code is formal, and it's, if the weather allows, it's outdoors. So you can bring a jacket or something in case you get cold. Thank you.
The dress is formal. Yes. So new information, contrary to what was said before, the dress code today is formal. Thank you. Tonight, no, we're not discussing and not voting. And even I would completely turn it down, but it's like this. Okay, next proposal is 216 from Canada about possibility of counting judging of singles and pairs as two different competitions. Please.
I think it's pretty straightforward as proposed. Our intention behind that is to recognize that these are different disciplines by nature, and therefore, by chance, if you happen to be an official on each of those distinct disciplines, that should count towards activity.
Does the committee has any comments? Mm-hmm.
Susan Lynch, Single Pair Technical Committee. We just feel that this would be not enough experience and not enough exposure to judges to could potentially just do two competitions and get activity for singles and pairs, meaning four, to then become or to apply to become an ISU judge. So we would prefer to stay with the rule we have.
Any other? Okay. Who is in favor of proposal 216? Who is against? Well, it definitely does not have 2/3 majority. Next proposal is from the technical committees about the webinars. That's one of the series. If there are any remarks, please. If not, I put it on vote. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Next proposal is from single pair ISDAN synchronized committees. 218 about changing time periods for necessary activity. Who will speak from the committee? Rita, please.
Rita Zonneken, Single and Pairs Technical Committee. I speak also on behalf of the ISDAN's Technical Committee as well, and we think that we need to have this for years because we need referees with experience. And in those days, in those years, they will build up their experience.
Any remarks? Who is in favor of the proposal? Who is against? 1, 2, 3, I think. Raise again, against. 1, 2, 3, 4. Abstained? Nobody. The proposal is accepted. The proposal 219 from U.S. figure about also some periods of activity. But they need to say it. Somebody from U.S. should say.
So, since this follows 218, we withdraw it.
Thank you. Next proposal, 220 from the committees, is about a possibility of webinars for reappointment of ISU referees. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Next proposal from the two committees about the possibility to retake only part of the examination. Yes, Susan.
Susan Lynch, Singles Pairs Technical Committee. This is to standardise with the referee exam and controller specialist exam. So we would not allow now, if you passed half of the exam, you could come back the following year and take the other half. So we are now proposing that you must take the entire exam in full entirety the next year. So to be in line with the referee and the controller and a specialist.
Anybody wants to speak? No. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Uh, 222. I am not from the dance, but 222. This is another possibility of webinars for reappointment of international judges. Who is in favor of this proposal? Who is against? Abstained? Accepted. Next comes from the two committees, again about examination, but the first proposal, 2-1, was about international judges. And this proposal is ISU, but maybe there is a printing mistake.
Yes.
Please, Susan.
Yes, Susan Lynch, Technical Committee. There is a typo on the first line. It should be ISU examination to become an ISU judge. So this is in line with our previous accepted proposal.
And in the rule book, it is the text ISU
correct,
judge.
yes.
It's really a typing mistake. And the line is the same, that you retake, if you don't pass, you retake the whole examination. Who is in favor of this proposal? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Another proposal from the committees about the webinars, reappointment of international judges. As we go one by one, I put it on vote. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Next proposal is for examination of technical controllers coming from the committee. Who will speak? Susan, okay.
Again, this is to be in line with the proposal you just passed for the referees, 4 years. So we would like to standardise and make everything 4 years. This enables the officials to have much more experience before they go from international to ISU.
Anybody wants to speak? No comments. Who is in favor of the proposal? Who is against? 1, 2, 3, 3, I think. Abstained? Nobody. Accepted. Next proposal coming from the three committees about service of ISU controllers. Yes, but it's again going from 3 months to 4 months. 4 years, from 3 years to 4 years.
Yes, to be in line again 4 years. And now that we are proposing the 4 years, the official has much more time, and we would change the requirement slightly to have 3 competitions, and at least one of these must be international. So again, they're gaining more experience before going from international to ISU, but they have a greater amount of time to do this, 48 months.
Any comments? Okay. Who is in favor? Against? 1, 2. Okay. Abstained? Nobody. Accepted. Proposal 227, the same, about technical specialists. The previous one was about technical controllers. This is about technical specialists. Who is in favor? Against? 1, 2. Abstained? Nobody. Accepted. 3. Yeah. I think it is after 2 to 8, because urgent proposal 13, let me find it, the letter. Wait.
This relates to
I have too many.
414.
Wait a second. It has too many. 13 is 414 4B. And the next proposal is, yes, you are right, because it's 414. So next is urgent proposal 13. I wanted one step later. And that is proposal of the two committees about activity of technical specialists and controllers, I think. And again, yes. Will somebody speak?
Yes, I speak on that. It's no, this is just to add the challenge series for possible activity, to enlarge the possibility to have activity also including the challenge series. I just want to explain to you why it is in the urgent proposal and it's not in the regular agenda. It was because at the beginning we have thought and we have made a proposal to make the ISU Challenge Series as an ISU event. So our main proposal at the moment was to put it there. But after, for some problems related to the conducting of the ISU events, we were advised not to include the ISU Challenge Series as ISU events, and we have no other possibility, because the main reason was to have activity, not that the Challenge Series as ISU events, to put it in as urgent matters. So that I just want to explain why it is here in the urgent matter and not in the agenda. But the goal is that to count the activity of the challenge series as activity for the controllers and specialists.
Who is in favor of urgent proposal 13? Thank you. Against? Abstain? Accepted. Proposal 228, it's in the same as 226, I think. Correct? 14 later. Now 228 first.
No.
It's the same as 226. So who is in favor of 228? Yes. Against? 1. Abstained? Nobody. Accepted. Urgent proposal 14 coming from the committees, again adding challenge series to the activity, just explained by Fabio why it is urgent. Who is in favor of this proposal? Who is against? Abstained? Nobody. Urgent 14 is accepted. 229, it's about activity of the referee coming from the 3 committees. So please, somebody.
Sean Redstad, ISTAN's Technical Committee. This is simply a clarification of practice that we are already doing for the activity of the referee at ISU Championships and Olympic Winter Games, to include the initial judges meeting conducted by the referee with a member of the committee and the roundtable discussion conducted by the referee. This is what we're already doing, so it's just clarifying in the rules.
Thank you. Who is in favor of this proposal? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Now, next proposal, Finland, 230. Tarja is ready.
Tarja Ristanen, Finland figure. Mr. Vice President, nothing changes because of this proposal. This is the paragraph that defines that attending the initial judges meeting and the roundtable discussion at ISU Championships or at the Olympics is considered counted as a seminar for judges, and we would like to add at the end that it does not count as a seminar for referees?
Well, actually, it's written like this in the book. The book says only for a new appointment and doesn't say for reappointment. But if the delegates want to be more clear, we can add this.
Alexander?
Yeah.
The next proposal, 231, refers to the same rule, and we accept the adding, to add at the end of the sentence, only not for appointment of referees. So we agree with this.
Okay. Who is in favor of 230? Who is against?
No.
Abstained? Accepted. 231 from the three committees. There's something new maybe the committees should explain about the initial judges meeting.
There is nothing new. There's just clarification that the initial judges meeting, if conducted by referee and the chair or member of respective technical committee, and the roundtable discussion of an ISU championships at Olympic Games together count as an ISU seminar for reappointment of judges. And that's what I said before, that we are ready to amend this proposal with the text proposed by the Finland and to add at the end of this sentence only, judges only, and in brackets, not for appointment of referees. If it's more clear, and I think that was the proposal for the Finland to make it more clear.
Let's read the text. The initial judges meeting, if conducted by the referee and the chair or a member of the respective technical committee, and the roundtable discussion of an ISU championships or the Olympic Winter Games, together count as an ISU seminar for reappointment of judges.
Only.
Or judges only.
And in brackets, not for reappointment of referees.
Not for reappointment
of referees.
No, reappointment.
And we understand this amendment because there were some cases when we got a lot of questions whether these seminars are counted for the referees' reappointment as well. So we think just for clarification, we will add this.
Well, if they want, don't need this. If it is, but if it is there, let it be fully.
No, but it's here.
Okay, but I would leave the text Halina said, because the rule is clear for me even without these two additions in this proposal and the previous one. But if we started in the previous one, it's logical to do it here. Who is in favor with the proposal with this addition? Okay. Against? Abstained? Accepted. Now, next proposal from the three committees, and this is a little bit changed. So, Charlie, can you explain? I think it's you who should explain.
Oh, okay, I can do it because Charlie's not ready. No, it's just a very, very small change, but anyway it is. At the Grand Prix final and in the championship, for the technical panel to be considered as a mini seminar, this meeting of the technical panel has to have the presence of the sport director and a committee member. And we are just asking that can be present a sport director and or the committee member, because in some cases to have both people for all this initial judges meeting for the whole time, it is a little bit complicated. So it's just to make a little bit easier the requirement to have the validity of the
technical panel meetings are at the beginning of the competition usually. There can be some travel delays. The plane doesn't arrive Now we need 2 people to be present, and if one of them is missing, we cannot have the meeting. We must postpone the meeting. So that's a possibility to have the meeting with not both present, but only one. I was told that you are speaking on this.
You are correct. Thanks very much.
Okay. It makes life a little bit easier in cases of emergency. It's not really the plan to have it always. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted? Finland 233, and there are some amendments, I think. Let's find, and first Tarja will speak and then Beatrice.
Tarja Ristanen, Finland Figure. Mr. Vice President, after discussions we move an amendment that will be hopefully visible soon on the screen. It is, all officials are aware that only the relevant documents are allowed at the stand while officiating, but we felt that this should be clearly said in the rule. And this is why we have come with this proposal. And also to make it clear that this applies to both panels, the judges and the technical panel. And of course, on Monday, the Congress already extended the validity of Communication 1540 that specifies the particular documents that are allowed at the judges' stand. But the amendment we move is that to make it clear that the documents allowed are those related to the competition in question and or specified in an ISU communication. In our opinion, this would add clarity and transparency.
Okay. Beatrice Pfister, our legal advisor.
Sorry, Tarja, to tell you I have a legal problem with this because I think I know what you would like to say, but I guess you don't really know what you're saying, because if this amendment passes, for example, are you sure you want judges to take to the stand for free program the results of the short program? The results are clearly related documents to the competition. So I really think you should just delete it, because the specification in the communication is really the most important thing. And if you think it's not clear in there, in my view, it is pretty clear. There is one thing missing, which is the components chart, but this can be done by an updating of the communication. But I'm pretty sure you don't want results of the short program on the judges' stand for the free, right?
No, of course not.
Okay. And the other problem is for technical panels. It's not clear what they can take or not. Up to now, they could take any materials and except mobile phones. And there were never any problems with this. Now we'll start deciding what is related to the competition, what is not.
Mr. Vice President, one of the reasons why we wanted to have this was that Communication 1540 only relates to judges. But I understand the legal issues and the problematics, so we move to withdraw the entire proposal.
Thank you. Proposal 234 from Netherlands. Can you explain?
Yes, we propose, Jeroen Prins speaking, we propose to add 2 lines to the duties of judges. The first one, I think, is simply an omission in the rules, as it's current practice to make the required reductions for false errors, etc. and it's already partly specified in the latest communication, that there is a certain, let's say, limit if there's a program with a fault that you cannot give a 10, and now the committee is extended to false and serious errors. So this is actually current practice, and just for me, an omission. The second bullet, to stress that each component must be marked to each individual criteria. I think it's the more important one. We stress this all the time at seminars, at initial judges meetings, that the components should not be like all 5 together, but it should be according to each own merit. And I think we need to stress that a little bit more, and that's why we propose to put it in the rules. To quote from one roundtable discussion I experienced in a Challenger event, one veteran judge, when we discussed a program again where we felt it was overmarked in components, he said to us, so do you want seminar components or competition components? I mean, I think that says it all.
Any comments? Yes, Liana.
Just a point of maybe clarification in terms of interpretation. In the recent communication on scale of values where it is recommended, I believe it says a judge should award fill in the blank component if there's an error. It's a should, not a must. But in this proposal, we're now saying make the required reductions. So there seems to be a discrepancy between the communication language, which is a should, versus here, which is saying a requirement.
Alexander? We think that it is not necessary to include this in the rule book, as everything is explained in the communication and it's very detailed explained. So it is written now, for instance, that if there is a fault, you cannot be in 10, and if there are faults or serious errors, you cannot be in 9s. So I think it's even more detailed clarification that it is here, and we do not think that it is necessary to include this in the communication. And regarding your second line, we are repeating this every one seminar, every one meeting. So I don't think that it should be included in the rules that evaluate each program component according to its individual criteria. But I'm not against to include this, but I just don't think that it is necessary to include, as any time we are talking about the components, it is repeated.
True, but in reality it's not happening. So I would like to just to emphasize it a bit more.
So
I'm happy to amend the proposal to take the first bullet point out, but the second I definitely want to keep.
Okay, Fabio?
Yes, we have nothing against to put the second sentence in the rule book.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first point is withdrawn, and I put on vote to add, evaluate each program component according to its individual criteria.
Excuse me, Mr. Vice President. It's all well and good to, Charlie Sear, Sports Director, it's all well and good to add verbiage on rules and regulations, but we still have not, what are going to be the consequences to the people who don't do that? So as an official, we are required to do that. If we don't do that, what are the consequences regarding that? Who's going to monitor that? So it's already stated as specifically cited. So I think we need to just defeat this. It's just verbiage that's not needed to complicate matters. Thank you.
Okay. Jaron,
Sorry,
it's
but
the third time.
I know, but I don't think it's stated in the rules. So I just, like we said, I am happy to amend out the first bullet, but I would like to keep the second.
Okay. So I am putting on vote the second point, if we add it to the rules or not. Who is in favor of adding this proposal to the rules? Who is against? It doesn't have 2/3 majority, clearly. So it's defeated. The whole this part is not accepted. Netherlands, this is about the falls, but now the falls stayed, and this should be withdrawn, I suppose.
We withdraw the proposal.
Okay. Norway, general and specific duties and powers of the judges. We're still on Rule 430, starting what Finland was proposing. And now we have Norway, and Norway has an amendment. So, who is speaking? Mona, please.
Mona Adolfsen, Norway. Yes, this is a clarification of the current Rule 430F, and it's the last bullet. I saw that in the proposal this was not quite clear. We want to revise it and put in not bring any form of electronic communication devices such as mobile phones, tablets, or smartwatches to the panel stand. And I don't know, do we get it also on the screen maybe? And we want to add...
Can we put the amended proposal on the screen?
And we want to add then a bullet point after this last one. And this is the new. An ISU official on the ISU list must not serve as a team leader and or referee, judge, technical specialist, or technical controller in ISU championships, Olympic Games, or senior Grand Prix events in the same season. So this is a new one, the last one.
So we have two items. One is about electronic communication devices, and the second is about being the team leader. They are absolutely different, but they are in the same rule. Okay, Fabio, please.
We mainly agree with what it is said, but as a technical committees, we have some amendments on this proposal that in one case is similar to the amendment of Norwegian is done, but it is a little bit different. So if it is possible to show my slides about these amendments. Okay, so the first...
Where is the printed text, Fabio?
The printed text there is not. It is only there, yes. Sorry. But I just say the difference. In the first item, it is that we are asking that it is more logical for us to say that the device, electronic device, must be switched off on the judges, on the panel stand, and not to bring, because practically everybody has the phone in the pocket or the laptop in the bag. So we say that it is more appropriate to say that it is switched off. It's not a big difference, but just like that. And the second point, it is that we would like to take out the senior Grand Prix events about these rules, because in some cases, in senior Grand Prix, the judges that are there could occasionally be the team leader, and this, in our opinion, do not represent such a big problem, because in some cases it is really, there are not so many people sent by the nation, and maybe the judges that is judging is also to act as a team leader for economical reason. And plus that, we have also added as an OAC member, because in the amendments for Norwegia, it was forget OAC member also. So in all the cases, a judge is acting in all these circumstances, cannot be at the ISU championship the team leader.
Well, With the first item, Fabio is definitely correct, because at all the seminars we have to add that when we say judges should not bring their phones, we add that the phones can be in your bag but switched off. And now, finally, this is correct, will be correct in the book. And the second is for the delegates to discuss. First, Mona.
Yeah, we could for sure support this proposal and amendment for our proposal. But we would also like to have an ISU official, to be precise, listed on the ISU list. So it will be like precise. But this will make our...
Mona, can I ask a question? Who is an ISU official? That is the person listed in the corresponding communication. Okay. So when we say an ISU official, it really means that this person is in the list. So now we are repeating the same thing twice.
Okay.
I doubt if this is necessary.
So it's just to be clear, but then we will support. The main thing is we support this
So
yes.
Now we have amendment done by the committee, single payer committee, or both committees? Both committees, two committees. Yes.
Hilary Selby, I Stance Technical Committee. The second point, do I understand it correctly that an ISU official must not serve as a referee, judge, TC, technical specialist, OAC member, and a team leader in the ISU Championships and Olympic Games? So in other words, if I'm appointed as a TC in a season, in the same season, I can't be a referee.
Correct.
Yes, that's exactly what it says.
No, yes. Hillary.
That is what the wording says, Alexander.
If you are a referee or controller, you cannot be a team leader at the championships or Olympic Games. But you can be at one competition a referee and at the other competition a technical controller. What is the issue?
Alexander, Chris, that is not what the wording says.
Must serve as a referee, judge, technical controller, technical specialist, OEC member, as a team. Oh, goodness. Because Chris is right. The sentence by itself doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. It says that an ISU official must not serve as referee, judge, controller, specialist, OEC member, and team leader. And what then this person is doing?
Can I say something? Well, I think it's really, everyone knows what it's supposed to mean. It doesn't say it, so for me it's a drafting matter, and I suggest that some people sit together with preference of English native language and...
But to be clear, and if I am mistaken, please correct me, the proposal is that if you are this season acting as referee and any official, you cannot be a team leader at championships or Olympic Games. Correct? That's the meaning. And nothing else. Yes,
Sally. I think I have a solution. Sally Rahoric, Figure Canada. I think I have a solution that's really easy. It's just moving things around a little bit. So it would say, after OAC member, in the same season as serving as a team leader. So it would read, an ISU official must not serve as referee, judge, technical controller, technical specialist, or OAC member in the same season as serving as a team leader.
So, in principle, you can be in the list of officials and one season choose not to act as an official but be a team leader. That is possible.
Yeah, and so
Correct.
that new wording would
Yes.
say exactly that.
In the same season, you can not do both, either this or that.
So Alexander,
Yeah.
we'd like an amendment where you can do the team leading after you've fulfilled the other responsibilities, so you cannot team lead prior to serving in one of the ISU official capacities.
Well, it becomes more and more complicated. Now we have this addition that in the same season you can first serve as an official and later serve as a team leader. This is presented with mistakes. This is not presented at all. We can have a vote, but then we need the precise text in any case.
Alexander,
Yeah.
I think the intent is clear that we do not want to have any of our officials acting either at an ISU championship or Olympics only as a team leader in the same season. I think the wording can quite easily be sorted out.
But what Anne Kamet said, I understood it differently, that you can be in the same season, first official, and then at a certain point stop officiating this season and become a team leader, correct? And
Yes, that's correct.
But that is not what it says.
No,
And
but this is not
But
that
it's
what is our
amendment.
idea.
And that is not the intent of what is presented.
sorry, don't mix, Chris, two things. One is what we have on the screen. This is an amendment presented by the committees. There is one more amendment by US figure to allow, in some cases, still to be in both capacities, but not mixed, but one after one. So, first, I suppose in any case, we must have the final wording and show it to delegates. But we can have a vote in principle even now, but the text must be clear. Yes, Katarina.
Katarina Henriksson, Sweden. We support the previous one, not the one from the US, because I think it's really confusing, and who will check when someone is an official or
Okay.
a team leader?
First, I am putting on vote the American amendment to this text. The amendment, you want to speak?
Yes, please. Margaret Worsfold, Great Britain. I think the proposal put forward by Norway is to get rid of any perception of conflict of interest between judges, officials and team leaders. And I think the perception when these things go on television does not do our sport any favours. So I think we have to support Norway's proposal.
And not the amendment that is on the screen?
No, because some of our competitions are close together, the championships, and when these are seen on television, people do get the perception of conflict of interest.
Oh, sorry. On the screen, the proposal of the committees does not allow to do two things in one season, so they are not close together. The American proposal puts it together. This I agree. But you are proposing now to support the original proposal of Norway or this proposal that is on the screen now?
The proposal of Norway.
The original. Okay. First, the amendment of US to allow in the same season to be in both capacities, but not mix it, first one and then the other. Wait, let me write somewhere. Who is in favor of US amendment? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who is against? Definitely more. So this amendment is rejected. Now we have the original proposal of Norway and the amendment put by the technical committees. And I put on vote if we accept this amendment to proposal of Norway. Who is in favor? Who is against? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Can you raise your hands higher, please?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And again, raise the green cards. No, definitely more. So this amendment is accepted, but Fabio, you must give it to us in correct written form, without the mistakes that are on the screen. And now the whole proposal with amendment, which needs, as any proposal, 2/3 majority. Let's see first who is in favor, who is against. 1, 2, 3, that's all. 4, okay. Abstained? Nobody. 1. The proposal is accepted with all these amendments. But we will try to show you tomorrow the full text. Next proposal, 237 from Norway. General specific duties and powers. Please.
Lise Røsto Jensen, Norway. We propose to add a new bullet to Rule 430. This relates to social media for officials, and we have made an amendment to make clear who it relates to. I don't know if it's confusing. If the wording should be different, we are willing to.
An official on the ISU list, it's any official. Officials are people who are on the ISU list.
Okay, then the original, then we can take the original proposal. We just wanted to be clear who an official is.
Liza, I have a question. Should or must? It's written should. It's only recommendation. Okay. You can speak, Beatrice.
We should change to must.
Thank you very much. Ever since I have become a legal advisor, I'm fighting against should provisions because they make life very difficult and unclear. Thank you.
Okay. Then must. Then our amendment is must.
Sorry, but what is the penalty if we see the official posting, if we say must?
Then it's against the Rule 430. And the Code of Ethics.
Okay. Disciplinary Commission.
Yes. Okay, can I explain our proposal?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. The officials of the ISU events, they need to be neutral and unbiased at all times. Observing the activity of many officials on social media does not always give this impression. We see judges and other officials publishing their opinion on marks and skaters, and also post pictures of skaters and officials together, and also pictures of skaters. Some officials show openly on social media who they cheer for. We now even have ISU officials with profile pictures on Facebook with active skaters. This is not in line with the duties of an official, and we think this rule is needed. Thank you. And we're willing to change the wording of the proposal, but everyone understand what we want to say.
Yes, Charlie.
Charlie Sear, sports director figure. I would like to commend for bringing that forth because it has been a huge, huge issue on, especially for the sports directors to try to monitor and to acknowledge those that I don't know why they think or why an official feels that it is okay to post social media pictures with people that they will be judging the next day or with coaches that they collaborate with. I really understand that friendships are friendships and they have gone for a long time, but there is perception of conflict, and we want to avoid that. Our sport is scrutinized enough without having to justify why you went out to dinner with the coach that you're going to judge the skater the very next day. I think it's inappropriate. I think as an official, we all have the responsibility for perception and to avoid conflict. It just makes our sport a lot cleaner. So I would really recommend that everybody support this proposal. Thank you.
Georgia, next.
Yeah, I'm Gyurjelek, Hungary. I'm absolutely supporting the purpose of this wording, but I'm really sure that we already settled this kind of problems in the ISU Code of Ethics. So what I would like to ask to take it more seriously, the ISU Code of Ethics, and apply.
As far as I understand, the rules describe the duties of the judges while they're serving on the panel or at the competition. We do not think that the rule books should describe the whole everyday life of the judges out of competition. It should be somewhere else, either in the Code of Ethics or somewhere else. But definitely, when you serve as a judge, this is in the rule book. But when you, during the season, you at home on the other continent, you cannot follow any rules of the judging. Code of Ethics, probably yes, but definitely not in the rules.
Kristen, please.
I agree fully. And for instance, what happens if there are international seminars for skaters, like in Finland, and they do a group picture in the end and post it, and there are judges and coaches and skaters together.
Sally.
Sally Rahorik, Canada. We agree in principle with the ethical question that's on the table, but agree also that it shouldn't be in the rules. And oftentimes, you don't have any control over what people are posting of you. And I don't want to see us in a situation where we're spying on each other and we saw so-and-so standing beside so-and-so and it's reported. How do you even ensure compliance for something like this? I think it would drive us crazy.
Okay, Paolo.
Yes, Paolo Pizzocari from Italy. I strongly support the first part, not to publish any comments on the results of a competition, but it is very difficult to control the publication of pictures on the website because anyone can have a photo with a team, and then we are not responsible of what other people can publish on the websites. And it's a common sense for everybody that every judge is taking picture with a team or with the coaches during the banquet, and it could be really very difficult to have any control on this.
Katarina.
Katarina Henriksson, Sweden. I think the proposal is meant for my social media, that I don't post pictures with skaters. If other people take a picture of me talking to a skater, it's not my fault. So for me, this intention is to take care of our own social media.
Ararat. But you were first. She was after.
Ari Zakarian, Armenia, figure skating. Once again, I'm going to talk about technologies. They're moving so fast. And I absolutely agree that the judge cannot become a blogger and start building up his opinion and build some kind of movement against other members or skaters. But with pictures, it's going to be very difficult because the technology is that somebody takes a picture and there is a recognition program, which is going to be very difficult also to control that. And also, if we are talking about to somehow control the judges, they're not going to be corrupted. I would again say that it has to be, for the future, maybe you should look to have judges under contracts and be paid for what they do. Thank you.
Okay, Eliza.
I just want to clarify that we mean the personal social media of that official, not if anyone else takes a picture and put it online. You can't control that, but everyone can control what they put on their own social media. That's our point.
Alexander, so can I ask the delegate from Norway, if we are giving seminars and we have a picture taken with all of the skaters or participants, and that is posted on social media, would that be against what you are proposing? Only if I was to post it, that's what you're saying. Okay, thank you.
But, you know, while I suppose we all accept even more than 100%, the intent, the devil really comes in the details. And maybe code of ethics is enough a tool, because when we include it in the book, we must be quite precise. What is a rule violation, what is not, what is possible, what is not. Are we ready for this? While the intent of the rule is clear, it's a very good one. We have enough already of all these publications, and this is the reaction. But putting it in the rule, there comes many questions. Yes, Christian.
I think we are all adult persons and we are responsible, and we signed a code of ethics. So everybody has to decide what he dares to do.
Okay. So, Beatrice, your opinion.
Well, Christian, my answer to your statement just is, why then do we have so many proceedings and an increasing number of proceedings for violations of the Code of Ethics? And to me, it doesn't really matter. We're about to revise the Code of Ethics anyway, try to give it a more comprehensive structure and an easier structure, so we can also include it there. But I think, you know, what is important to know, and also if you should say we do not want it in the rule books, I'm not going to issue an opinion on that, but what do you want? Because there have been some proposals just to keep the first part of the sentence about commenting the results of competitions, or do you want the whole thing? That would be, Pat, don't you agree, very helpful for us in any event, whether you say yes or not in the rule book, for the purposes of the Code of Ethics.
Okay.
From Iceland, I think it would be then very necessary that it should be clarified in Code of Ethics that what the duty and the comments from judges or officials are appropriate, actually. So if it could be clarified in the Code of Ethics or in the communication, what is appropriate, that I think that would be enough, and then it doesn't have to be in the rules.
So, first my question to Norway. Do you want to keep the proposal? Or it's enough to have it in Code of Ethics because something will be there in any case?
If we can have it in the Code of Ethics, more specific than it is now, that's acceptable for us, and then we can move to withdraw our proposal.
Thank you. But the proposal was withdrawn, but the purpose still is there, and the purpose is quite correct, that we have already too much in social media, and we might have even more if we don't stop it. Next proposal, 238, from the two committees. Who will speak?
Sean Redstead, ISAN's Technical Committee. Basically, in Rule 431, we've done a bit of separation. There's a few changes in the first paragraph, but the primary intent of what we've done is to allow for the international competitions, the judges' meeting can be immediately before the event, the initial judges' meeting, so that there's much more flexibility. Those competitions, sometimes literally the officials, the skaters are arriving 5 minutes before the start of the competition, or very quickly. So to schedule something is a little more difficult, and this allows much more flexibility with scheduling the initial judges' meeting.
Who is in favor of the proposal? Against? Abstained? Accepted. 239 from the three committees. The referee is recommended to use video. What was the wording up to now? Who is speaking? Must.
I am speaking. This rule is just a wording matter in a way, but it is connected also to the proposal 241 from Bosnia, because the meaning is absolutely the same, and we accepted also what Bosnia is proposing is even better wording of what we are doing, so we can recommend to accept all both proposals that are the meaning as the same, or the proposal of Bosnia that it is as a better wording. Respect ours.
Fabio, we cannot accept both because their text is a bit different. You can withdraw the proposal of the committee, and we can immediately discuss 241 of Bosnia.
Alexander?
Yeah.
The difference with the rule we have so far, that it was written that must include, and now we say is recommended. In some cases, if there was no penalty, let's say. So just have this flexibility. Of course, we prefer where it is, but if it happens that it is not, therefore we'll use the word recommended.
That's what Bosnia is doing. They say that the referee shall, if possible, include video, and for ISU events, the referee must use video.
Because we are given immediately.
Correct?
Yeah. Therefore, we say that we support...
Yes. So my proposal is that if you are ready to withdraw 239, we'll vote for 241.
Yes. We are ready to...
239 is withdrawn, and we vote immediately for 241 from Bosnia and Herzegovina, like it is in the book. Who is in favor? Against? Nobody. Abstained? Nobody. Thank you, Bavka. It's a good proposal. 240. Two committees. Can somebody explain what is the change?
The change is that the chair or a member of technical committee may be present at any roundtable discussion, and this is in the case when roundtable discussion concerning the event in which the referee officiated and we have some problems, so we may have this possibility to attend the roundtable discussion.
Correct. Currently, the referee can be present only if invited. The committee member can be present only if invited by the referee. This new rule gives the right to the referee to come to the roundtable discussion, member of the committee, to come to the roundtable discussion.
Even without invitation.
Yeah, correct. Even without invitation. Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. 242, two committees about reports for basic and intermediate novice competitions.
Yeah, this is just because we are changing the name of the intermediate novice, we have introduced this, and to clarify that the report is needed only for advanced novice, but it is not required to have for basic novice and intermediate novice.
Any comments? Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Netherlands 243, if I understand correctly, it's a continuation of what we already accepted about putting national bias into the rules.
Exactly. Proposal 24.
Mm-hmm. Any comments? Who is in favor? Against? Abstained? Accepted. Where? Article,
yes,
Jaron, it's a question to you. Article 22 should be Article 23, actually.
Of course, sorry for that mistake.
Mm-hmm. And it's strange, because it's now 22. It's 23 now. Now it's put as 22 and underlined as new. It's a double mistake. And the last for today, 244 from Netherlands. And there will be maybe some amendment from the technical committee that in case now you can go to assessment 2 only after you've officially received assessment 1. You can do huge errors or have huge bias, but until you officially receive assessment 1, we cannot give assessment 2 right away, whatever the person does. The proposal of Netherlands adds first national bias, that's in line with the previous, and also gives a possibility to go to assessment 2 without assessment 1, correct, Jaron?
Correct.
Correct. Now, Fabio, do you still want to change? Yes?
Yeah, so we totally support the proposal of Netherlands, but we would like also, based on the same principle, that you can receive assessment 4 not after every assessment 3, but after every assessment 2. So you can go from nothing to assessment 2, and if the error is very grave, the next step is to go to assessment 4. So it's just being in line of what Netherlands is presenting.
Actually, it means that in assessment 4, you must also cross out after having received assessment 3, change it to after having received assessment 2.
Correct.
Jaron, how you... No, here in the last,
That's
after
fine.
having received assessment 3, change 3 to 2, which gives the possibility to right after 2 to issue 4 if the mistakes are very big. Currently, being frank, it's not very realistic to reach assessment 4 because with the current procedure, when you get to 4, already 1 is gone, and because it has a period, and nobody can even get to assessment 4, even if the judging is very bad or very biased. Yes, Danny?
Daniel for Spain, by the same principle, you can get assessment 3 after having assessment 1.
Maybe you are correct.
So if we put it all together, it allows to jump 1 step in case of really big, serious mistakes or bias. Yes, Jaron?
Yeah, so are we voting separately the amendment of the Singles and Pairs Technical Committee? So
First,
that you can
first I would like to ask you, as the author of the initial proposals, how you look at both amendments.
Well, I didn't want to overcomplicate things, but first of all, I wanted to bring this into the working procedures of the OIC. And as I see a stepped approach with regards to national bias, you would reserve either a warning or an assessment 1, or in severe case, assessment 2. For any subsequent, let's say, charged with national bias, I didn't want to move directly from 2 to 4 or from 1 to 3. So I would personally stay with my initial proposal.
Okay. Now,
Alexander, just
yes.
one thing. In the proposal is not written what it is in the second I, so there is I and II in the official book. The II should stay. Correct?
Yes.
No,
there's
because we are
no
not changing.
IIA.
Yes.
There's only II. II should stay. It's not crossed out.
It's not crossed out. Just
That's
for
correct.
clarification.
So, anybody wants to speak? Then we'll first have amendments. And there are 2 amendments. First, coming from technical committees, to change in assessment 4 after having received assessment 2. And this I will put on vote separately. And the next separately, the proposal of Spain to change in assessment 3 after having received assessment 2, change 2 to 1. And that will be separate. First, the amendment of the technical committees to change 3 to 2 in assessment 4. Who is in favor? We'll see. Who is against? But there are so many people who did not vote at all. Yes, because we'll have an electronic vote, sorry.
Sorry.
Because there were many people who did not vote. I ask again. Okay. Who is in favor of changing 3 to 2? Please raise your green cards. Okay. Who is against? 1, 2, 3. Quite different. Thank you, Fabio. No, yes, this was changed. 3 to... Yes.
Sorry.
Or 3.
It should be
Hello?
2 or 3.
2
Alexander.
or... Wait a second.
Can-
Beatrice seems to be correct. It should be not... because it should be 2 or 3. Because you cannot just say 2. Then you cannot do anything with 3. 2 or 3. But everybody understood it like this. Now, next amendment from Spain to change 2 to 1 or 2.
Correct.
In assessment 3. Who is in favor? Who is against?
1, 2, 3.
3. Abstained. Accepted. And now we have the whole proposal, and I repeat, in assessment 1 is like printed in the book. In assessment 2, it's like printed in the book. In assessment 3, 2 is changed to 1 or 2. And in assessment 4, 3 is changed to 2 or 3. Who is in favor of this proposal? Yeah. Who is against? 1, I think. Abstained? 1 also. 2. Okay. The proposal is accepted. Thank you for the hard work. We'll continue with technical rules and synchronized skating tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Alexander, just before we go, in order to make tomorrow much lighter, could I inform the delegates of 22 proposals that they don't have to go through because we have already voted on those for singles, pairs and ice dance. So they can remove those from their list of proposals to discuss.
Well,
I have all of the numbers
let's
here.
see where we are then. Okay.
Is everyone ready? Do you have your pens and pencils ready? We voted on 190. So 291.
Don't hurry. 291. Okay.
293.
293.
299.
Don't hurry. 299, yes.
304.
304, yes.
305.
Wait a second. Yep.
308.
But I must say, Chris, 205, if I remember correctly, was separate for single pairs and ice dance. Am I right? Was this one where it was added for only ice dance?
Yes, only ice dance.
So this for synchronized is not automatic.
No, 305, I said.
305, it's Finland figure. We specified for ice dance only. Single pairs, they do not join this proposal. And for synchronized, I suppose we must have a vote and not say that it's automatic.
You accepted 215.
Which says for dance only.
Yes, but you have accepted it for those, and what I'm saying is this is consequential.
I don't know.
Okay.
So yes, we'll vote on 305. Sorry.
So 308.
Yep. Yep.
310.
Yep.
312.
31. Yep.
315. 318. 319. 321. 322. I'm expecting someone to shout bingo any minute. 325. 331. 332. 336. 337. 340. And 341, where we accept the same wording as 241. So I hope that makes your lives a little easier tomorrow.
Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.